Hello, friends. It's Melissa Majors. I have another story for you, and ooh, this one will have you on the edge of your seat. So hold on tight, honey. A few years ago, I was finishing my latest book, and I got some noisy kids here around the house. I have two sons, 10 and 11 years old, and they always keep something going. I really just needed to unplug, find some quiet time and some space where I could gather my thoughts and really finish my writing. So I went to southeastern Oklahoma to the Beavers Bend area. I don't know if you've ever been there. If you haven't, put it on your bucket list because it's just gorgeous. So I booked this cabin and oh, it was so lovely. I remember when I first walked through the front door, I could smell cedar in the air, inside of the cabin, and there were floor to ceiling windows with the most breathtaking view of these rolling emerald hills and this lush forest and little river that ran past the cabin. It was just lovely. And I remember sitting on the deck of this cabin and I was working and I was just so grateful to be in such a peaceful place. There was rain coming, but it hadn't arrived yet. So you could hear soft thunder in the distance and you could smell the rain in the air. It was just the most serene, peaceful experience until, oh, my heart races. I even tell you this story until I heard the most menacing growl I had ever heard in my life coming from directly behind me. Now, this is wooded area. And so I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm about to get eaten. Don't make any sudden movements. And so I turn around slowly, only to come eyeball to eyeball with a hummingbird. The sound of that curious little hummingbird had me thinking the worst thing was about to happen, like the biggest grizzly bear was about to attack and eat me. But it was an innocent little hummingbird. Friends, it taught me a lesson about fear. When you are anticipating something bad will happen to you, you look for it and you'll find fear in the most innocent experiences. I have been coaching and talking to so many people that are experiencing extreme social anxiety these days, and it's wrecking their ability to build good relationships with other people. I want to share with you that about 6 months ago, I lost my father. He was 91 years old and he was so satisfied with life. He had done everything he wanted to do, but more importantly, the people that he loved him back. And so, friends, at the end of our lives, none of us will say, I wish I had worked more. What we will say is, I wish I had spent more time nurturing relationships with the people that I loved. And I find so many people who have rusty peopling skills thanks to COVID and being online more often. And we are social creatures. We are wired for social connection, and we're getting really rusty at building good relationships and nurturing those so they become trusting, warm relationships, which is what we need as humans in order to nourish that social connection and need for belonging. We need that. And so I want to teach you some tips, just one little trick on how you can pull yourself out of this state of social anxiety. And you can do an even better job building relationships and networking in a meaningful way because those relationships, oh, friends, it's what really matters in our lives. So let's not fumble it. I want to teach you one little trick, and it's a breathing trick. And it goes like this. If you feel yourself, especially in a social situation, starting to feel anxiety, I want you to take a deep breath through your nose. Now force even more air into your lungs. Now let it out slowly. That breathing trick, whenever our lungs are full of air, it sends a signal to our brain that we're safe and we don't need to feel threatened. And it will pull you out of this zone of anxiety and a threat state so you can show up the way you want to and build more meaningful relationships when you're in social settings and those type of environments. Because friends, that is what really matters in life. Thanks for tuning in, friends. Subscribe because I've got more tea that I'm going to spill. And next week's episode, ooh, it's going to be a little vulnerable and juicy, but it's going to be worth it. So subscribe so you don't miss out. I'll see you then.